Welcome to a Turf Business TV special where we're going to take a look at Grounds Week, a new initiative coming to us from the GMA. And I'm joined by Chief Operating Officer of the GMA, Jason Booth. Jason, welcome this morning. How are you doing up there?
I'm fine, thank you, Martin. Great to see everybody here.
Yeah, we've got a nice panel lined up and we'll introduce those in a moment or two. But before we get started, what's the idea behind Grounds Week then?
Well, in all honesty, it probably started about 11 years ago, believe it or not. The GMA have now, or as IOG as it was then, have done two industry researches 10 years apart. And this identified key areas of how many volunteers and professionals are working within the industry and in what sports, what the contribution to sport that we provide or this industry provides. So that was 10 years ago as the hidden profession. We've recently done in 2019 the sports vital profession. And this brought to us 4 or 5 key areas of development that highlighted what the GMA needed to be able to promote and implement. And one of those was workforce recruitment and diversity. One was workforce retention, working with local authorities, media, so making the general public more aware of what these great guys do, both at the volunteer and professional level, and also training and education of volunteers and professionals. So this Grounds Week is part of that awareness programme and celebratory part of that work and that list that came out from those pieces of work. And hopefully that everybody will get involved and support the initiative and raise awareness to the general public and also to sport and other areas of sport. Just what a great job that people maintaining these playing surfaces do.
Jason, it's volunteers and professionals across all aspects of Turfcare. The kind of activities that the GMA have got planned to kick this off, what kind of things are going on?
Well, we've got a quiz night as well, interactive. We've got promotional material where on social media platforms, there's a toolkit, which is in form of a Google Drive where anybody can get access to that, our members or through social media or our sponsors, as which Turf Business is one. I recognise that, Martin. Thank you very much for your support in that way. And interaction between individuals, we want to see volunteers, professionals. There's great support for everybody and each other in the industry, and we want to enforce that and make that bigger, better. And also, it's the awareness is the key point. We've done a lot of interviews with organisations outside our industry, and it's the raising the awareness of people outside our industry, what a contribution that we do pay to sport and the benefit that we bring to sport as well.
Those activities you've done outside the industry, that's by national media essentially. Is that mainly sports media or is it national press? What's involved in that, Jason?
Mainly sports media, looking for different angles within sport. So that's been part of that, and that's been national press as well. We've recently done an interview with Reuters, which has got many millions of reach within there, from MSN to Yahoo to Google News. So we've had great feedback on that already, and that's been promoted on social media today. So we are getting out there, we are promoting our industry, we are promoting the people within our industry across all platforms.
So this is live and has actually started to kick into effect. Okay. So GMA are doing their bit and you're asking the industry to do their bit as well. So I think, what do you expect to see people getting involved and doing?
Engagement, I think, is the key word here. I look on social media every day and I see great news. Wes, who's on the screen, has been quite prominent over the last few weeks, and the great job that they're doing. And it's engagement across the platforms. Together we're stronger. And I think it's our one opportunity during this week to link together. And we're hoping to make Grounds Week, hashtag Grounds Week, trending through this format. So there's a lot of people saying, wanting recognition and wanting people to be aware of the great job that they do. And they do it in silos at times. This is an opportunity where we can all come together and get Grounds Week trending on social media. And that's our big challenge.
So what I'm going to do next is we'll open it up to the rest of the panel. Wes, just as a volunteer, how much time do you actually spend on turf and what's the day job?
Right, well, I try and give at least about 10 hours a week minimum, you know, depending on the time of year really and what I can do and what I can't do. It sort of fits in in and around my day job, which is I run a double glazing company. And I really enjoy it, Martin, to be honest. You know, it's fantastic for me, and it works very well with what I do. You know, I'm lucky to have that I can make that spare time.
And an important question I'd ask all of you in turn actually would be, do you feel that the work that you do as a volunteer is appreciated and that people actually understand what you're doing and you get kind of a pat on the back for, you know, getting a pitch available to them?
Absolutely. Well, the club I'm at the moment, you know, with Cranfield, most definitely. Since I've been in there, they've embraced the changes that we've needed to do to the pitch to turn around and make sure that that's more playable. So we're getting more games. The coaches, the management, the committee, the players have all been behind with the changes that we've made throughout the pitch, and they're obviously looking after that pitch for me as well. It's very rewarding, to be honest with you, knowing that you're putting all that work in, and at the end on the match day, you know you've played a vital role in getting that game on and sport played. It's I find it really rewarding.
John, if I can turn to you, it's John Ramsay. You're with Summerfield School, aren't you? So you're a professional rather than a volunteer. Do you feel that, you know, as a professional at a school, you get that same kind of recognition?
Yeah, we're really lucky where we are because the pitches are used a lot. They're used constantly every day. So they're really appreciative of, you know, that the pitches been playing well and they can get on with their sport. As soon as they come out on the field, they like to have a plan of action and to get on with it. That's what they like to do, and the fact that the pitches are ready for them, they're really happy and grateful for it.
James, you're another professional. Do you feel the same there at the University of Leeds?
Yeah, we've got a good working relationship with the colleagues in sports, the coaching staff, and I think that's one of the big improvements we've made over the past years is actually build those relationships, understanding what the coaching staff, what the players want, and having that two-way feedback allows them to come to us, and we work a lot better together, and then they can show their appreciation because we'll go the extra mile. Just some emails knocking around this week regarding England Rugby League, and again, it shows the quality of the service we can provide can then bring in more and more business opportunities.
Do you feel, and I'll open this up to the whole panel now, I think the guys that we've spoken to so far are appreciated. Do you think that's recognised across all facets of the industry?
Personally, I think there'll be certain individuals, whether it's clubs, volunteer level or professional, there'll be certain individuals who don't understand the work you do and the time and effort and the commitment that goes in, and will quite happily slate you anytime. You know, they might have got out for a duck on a Saturday cricket, you know, and they'll blame the pitch, but they don't know the individuals put in 20 hours that week. It's been dumping it down with rain and they've really tried hard. And yeah, I think the vast majority understand, but I think this is the promotion with Grounds Week. We can engage with people and show more about the work that's involved both professionally and with the volunteers. Kevin,
do you feel, you're another volunteer. I kind of assume that you feel that you get the support of your club there at, forgive me if I get the pronunciation wrong, is it Thatto, Heath?
Yes, that's right. That's with Crusaders is in St Helens. It's a very large amateur rugby league club. We have about 400 playing members. We have 21 teams, and we currently have 3 pitches. The committee are very supportive of the work I do. To give you a bit of background, I'm in no way trained for groundwork. I'm 72 now. I retired 7 years ago, and that's when I took up the groundswork. I don't feel the warmth and appreciation that's been mentioned, other than my close colleagues on the committee. I find that the players and the coaches tend to take that for granted, and that pitch is just there to be played on and trained on, and they expect it to be ready. I don't think they fully understand. I'm not saying they should do, but I don't think they fully understand the work that goes in behind it.
Jason, the assumption here would be that you wouldn't be undertaking this Grounds Week initiative if you felt that everybody was appreciative of what grounds people are doing out there. Would that be correct?
Yeah, and it's great to hear the guys speak, and I think one word comes through loud and clear: it's education. And it's educating the people that we either work with within our clubs or the players, as Kevin said, on what work actually goes into there. And that's a massive piece. And one of the challenges we've had over the last 7 years working with the national governing bodies is to get grounds management on parity with coaching and officials. And we're working his way towards that. There's been ground made and traction within that. And I'm really positive that within the next 12 to 18 months, you're actually going to see something along those lines from the national governing bodies working hand in hand with the GMA to get that. It's a tanker we're trying to turn around here, Martin. And I mean, this is 5-10 years worth of work that we're undertaking at the minute. But you've got to start somewhere. We've seen great improvement over the last 12, 18, 24 months, and let's hope that continues. But yeah, it's an education of the people working within sports clubs, not just players, but officials and committee members. Some get it, and it depends how much you're aware of what goes into it. And the players turning up every Saturday or Sunday, as Kevin alludes to, they'll probably just turn up Saturday, Sunday, or for a couple of hours midweek to train. They're not aware what goes around the club, whereas some people that sit around the club, maybe a committee member, are there more often and see Kevin and the guys out there working. So it's an education process, and I think there's things that we can put in place to make them more aware of it. And with social media now and IT technology, there's short videos that we can put on Thatto Heath's social media channels that show Kevin and the work that him and the guys do, and actually educate the people that play with it on a Saturday. So that's just one short way how we can educate people.
So, you guys have heard what Jason's got to say. Has anybody got anything else to contribute on that?
Well, I just follow on from what Jason says. Education is the key. When you're doing your quick feet, exercise, can you please do it off the pitch? They're little things, but they're massive. They're absolutely massive to get that pitch in good order. And the players appreciate the pitch in the end, because then they're saying like, oh, we didn't have it like this time last year. But really, they've done that, by turning around and listening and taking on board what I'm saying. They've done that. Getting this into the sector, especially into I can only really speak for the volunteer sector, in grassroots, especially grassroots. If we can get that education into the coaches and the managers, the players, that'll be a knock-on effect for years, because they're going to pick that up in their coaching badges. They're going to show the players that that's great, you look after a pitch. The players are going to knock on then, and they're going to grow up knowing that you don't do that, you don't do this, because there's good reasons for it. And we're going to have better pitches just on the back of that. And it's a simple thing.
So you're talking about educating the guys that are with you in the clubs. I heard Kevin laugh in there when you were talking about the warm-ups and wrecking the pitch before you've even had a game on it. I'm sure Jason will echo this. It's not a problem that's purely in the volunteer sector. There's many a Premier League groundsman that has moaned about the same kind of issue to me, probably on a slightly different scale. So yeah, it's a kind of universal issue, that one. James, you work there for a big university, a lot of pitches to look after. Have you got anything planned to make your kind of audience there, your customers, if you like, more aware of how things happen, and maybe the greater industry at whole?
Yeah, we supported the GMA with some of the pictures. So one of the main images you see on there, some of the promotional material, is Adam, the apprentice we've got working at the sports grounds right now, walking across the rugby pitch. I'm going to work with marketing colleagues to push that forward next week, the week after, to promote Grounds Week and show our facility in the best way. And we do. It's like Wesley just said there. It's about engaging with people and informing. I've had students in the past send emails. We've not played for 2 weeks. Why? Well, because it's rained 100 mil of rainfall in West Yorkshire, and our infiltration rate of our native soil is 0. What do you expect? So they just see one thing. So by working with them and engaging and informing, but then we've also broadened how we deliver our training. So we capture some of the sports staff. So the receptionists or the duty managers who deal with the customer on a daily basis, they can be informed of the challenges that we face. So we're kind of coming from two sides. When we get the complaints, they've got somewhat knowledge, they've got some basic knowledge to push back and say, well, I'm sorry, they're not miracle workers. We can't put a huge umbrella over this site and keep it dry or keep moisture there, irrigation. So yeah, we really work on promoting what we do. We're one of the best teams within the university, or within maintenance, for promoting ourselves and the things we deliver.
Have you got any backup there in terms of like a marketing department that's going to help you get involved and do something on social media, or is it all going to be down to you?
Oh no, I'll let someone else do it. So yeah, within the facilities directorate, there's a small team, marketing team, who promote the work we do, whether it's from conferencing, catering, maintenance. They normally, for me, they normally come to me for maintenance because electricians and this and that, you know, I've got more photographic stories I can tell for broader engagement. So yeah, I'll be picking it up with them in due course to promote and push what we're doing.
John, you're in a somewhat different education establishment. Do you have the same support from a marketing department, or is it down to you to spread the word?
No, well, it's down to me. I've taken it on newly this year, and what we're trying to do is, like everybody else here, just engage in conversations with the sports staff. We're trying to, like they said, have regular conversations with the people that we work with, and they see what we do. And also, going forward, what we're trying to do this year is when we do our changeover of sport from maybe football to cricket, we try and record that process. So maybe at a later day, we can help out with the social media side and try and add our pictures and our views as well.
So will you be doing anything special during Grounds Week?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is get as much knowledge and information off of everybody who's involved to help out as well. And also I'm really interested in the social media side of things that they're trying to improve on, because I feel it'll help attract a younger audience and help me employ, as we employ apprentices, so it will help us be able to the amount of people that are coming for apprenticeships, hopefully that will go up.
If I come back to Jason, that's a key driver for this whole initiative, isn't it? Attracting people into the industry and making it something that has more of a profile, perhaps.
Yeah, and no offence to anybody on this screen, but 40% of the grounds workforce from the industry research is over 50. So we have got an issue. We have younger people coming into the industry, whether that be volunteers or professionals, and that is one of the key drivers, of raising awareness to parents out there that might be looking for their sons or daughters as a career, that this is a career that's available for them.
And you know, this one's open to the general panel. The benefits to the industry, do they go beyond attracting new talent?
For me personally, I think it's about it broadens the understanding of the work we do and the great career that it's there. You know, some people presume groundsmanship is just a guy in a wellies and a fork. You know, I've worked in America, Spain, doing what I do. You know, I've learned lots of things. You know, does my world now revolve around, you know, using a mower X, Y, Z? It's a very broad and diverse career, and I think if people understand that initially, what it can give you, but also the benefits it can give you on a volunteer level, you know, the engagement, the mental health, the physical activity, what you're providing for the children, you know, the future out there. You know, it works from both sides. We can engage people. We want more people professional and more diverse and broad, you know, employment base. But then in volunteers, we need more volunteers to come forward to help give their families great facilities to excel on.
And again, anybody else got something to add to that?
The 7 years I've been doing grounds work, I've come to realise just how important a job that is to our club. And now the trick is to educate everyone else into realising our grass is used 7 days a week in the playing season and training season. And the biggest difficulty of all is the time when, which is our closed season, when we don't play and we don't train, is the time when the grass is dormant and you can't really do any work on it. So the maintenance that is needed is actually going hand in hand with the playing season. And that's a difficult thing to run alongside, to get maintenance done while you are actually playing and training on the same pitches.
And in terms of educating your club and your members, if that's the right phrase to use, have you got any plans in place to do that?
The road to go down really is via coaches. I think if we can, you know, we have got 21 teams. That probably equates to 40 to 50 coaches. And I think I need to get them in a room together, even if it's only for 1 hour a month, to try and educate them.
Has anybody got anything to add to that?
The way we want to play the football is on the pitch. We want that pitch to be in great condition. So if you don't mind, I know you want to turn around and have ball shot at you in the big net. I know you do. And of course, you want to turn around and practice your corners and you want to practice this and that. Great. But guys, honestly, it will benefit you much more, you know, on match day, especially this week with this big game coming up. If you just turn around and just do that off the pitch, so we can, because we've got the weather coming in and so on. And I will constantly talk to the you know, I'm lucky. I've got fantastic coaches at the club, and the players are really appreciative at Cranfield, and they do listen. And they honestly, and it's made a massive difference. Now they've seen that difference. That's something that's installed in the club. You know, that's the blueprint of where we go.
Jason, if I come back to you, the broader picture here is, rather than looking at individual items, is that all of these have got to add up to a big cohesive kind of campaign over the week to say these are the types of things that our, you know, grounds guys are doing. They're the guys that are getting the games on for either you, the fans, or you, the players. How are you hoping people are going to do that?
Well, I think from what Kevin said and from what Wes has said, and James and John, is that I think they've given examples of how that all gels together from their own personal experiences. And again, it's very much in an awareness program, and all the facets of what these guys have said are all interlinking together. I don't think there's any silver bullet, Martin, if that's the question you're asking me. It's a combination of what everybody said that add up to actually making people more aware and more appreciative of what these guys do. And also we've got, I think it's circa 40,000 volunteers working in sport at the minute, 16,000 professionals. So that's quite a pool. And when we talk, it often intrigues me what some people mean by grassroots as well, because I think there's different stages of grassroots. Because I've heard professionals at elite end talk about grassroots being National League. That's step one. Yeah. The programme that we work with the national governing bodies goes right down to step 7. So I think we've got to be careful when we talk about grassroots and stipulate, if I'm talking about grassroots, it's National League level sort of thing. So there's so much, and that just gives you a diverse example of the organisations and clubs playing. That's not taking into account the volunteers and professionals. So there might be professionals out there that are working as low as step 7, but they are professionals that get paid for doing the job. So it's an eclectic mix that's out there that we're trying to service within the industry. And all these things that these guys have said all gel together, make not the silver bullet, but a series of bullets that hopefully will penetrate the right people.
Yeah, I wasn't actually leading you down the line and looking for the silver bullet. I was asking you what kind of examples can you give of the types of little things that will add up to that kind of broad spread that will help your cohesive, you know, you're leading the charge here at the top there. You've got a lot of big ticket things that are going to happen with national media. Social media is the main thrust of the industry getting involved, whether that's groundsmen or manufacturers, suppliers. What sort of things do you think, you know, an individual can do just to play their part through social media, perhaps?
Get involved first and foremost. Retweet and share any positive posts. And social media is often used for the wrong thing, in my opinion, and should be used for all the positive stuff that we have in our industry. We've got a lot to share. The quality that we're producing, the availability of resources. So the GMA have a toolkit site that since December and its launch has had 20,000 views across a range of sports. And for Kevin's benefit, there's a specific rugby league page, as there is a specific rugby union, specific cricket, specific football page. So these are all resources that people can tap into and will be available and promoted throughout Grounds Week. So that all adds up to the additional benefit of information, advice and guidance that are out there provided by the GMA. So we want to hook people into that so they're more knowledgeable, so they can go forward to their club organisation, whether that be volunteer or professional, and engage with them and create the relationships. The relationships start with a blank sheet of paper. What you actually put on that paper is entirely how you handle that situation at that first point of meeting. And I think we've all got the ability to be able to create good relationships and make people aware. And there's tools that the GMA are providing that can Kevin, Wes, John, and James can all share through video footage. It's quite quick, simple, and easy, where they can explain to people within their club the benefits of the work that they do.
So that toolkit's got stuff that people could share on their social media to make, this is the kind of thing we do to make sure you get your game on at the weekend, or, you can train on a Thursday night. And you'd encourage people to do whatever they can to get involved. Would that be correct?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Where do they get the toolkit, Jason?
There's 2 toolkits, so not to get confused. There's the one that comes with Grounds Week, which is a Google Drive, which will be on our website, GMA's website. There's a designated page to Grounds Week, and there's actually a toolkit that we work with in hand in hand with the national governing bodies, where it shows every aspect of groundsmanship and grounds management. There's little interactive videos, there's hints, tips and information about all aspects of grounds management that people can openly access, and it's free of charge.
Jason, I guess apart from reinforcing what the hashtag is, what are the dates of Grounds Week?
Well, it's March the 1st to the 7th inclusive, and let's hope that everybody engages, gets involved, and this becomes an annual thing that gets bigger and bigger as we go on.
Okay, and that hashtag is?
Hashtag Grounds Week.
Great. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for all joining us, and we appreciate you've taken some time out. There's obviously some passion around the people here that you give a lot to your industry, and in some instances with no kind of financial rewards. And let's hope that your activities will get recognition more and more over the coming years with this kind of initiative. Thanks a lot, guys.